looks something like this. And if we remember from, well, way back when we took a look at the Proto-Hebrew, Nun, which we've said represents life. The first time we see Nun as the root of a word in Torah is in Nefashim, which means living things. We also see it in Nefshecha, which means soul. But here, Nun represents a seed that is sprouting, or a seed. Kof, we've said Kof represents division. But here we see Kof as the horizon that divides sunrise from sunset. So it's our perception of the light. And then in the bait, it's a really long tail on the bait, we have house, a dwelling. So what are we seeing in these ideas? That the Nun representing the seed, the Kof representing the rising and setting sun, and the bait representing a dwelling place, we see two ideas manifest in these descriptions. One, that when we read the word, we penetrate into the house of Elohim in order to receive light, and the seed of life, that is the word, that it implants in us. And number two, we see that it is our house that is penetrated by the Ruach, implanting in us the seed of life, and the light that is also the word, as well as the anointing of Yahuwah, which is Mashiach. We say we want the word to dwell within us. We want Mashiach to dwell within us. We say that we are a house that holds both the word and the anointing of Elohim. Then that has to come into us directly from Elohim. But it only comes directly into us from Elohim when we enter into His house through the Word and being lifted up through the Ruach, which connects to Mashiach, which He has to install within us in order for us to be connected to Him through the Ruach. Everybody with me? So we see how this idea of male and female in these two different words starts to operate when we enter into the Word and we begin to take care of the things that we're taking care of within the Word. This verse literally says, they shall become male and female. So what do we take from that? The verse itself says, they shall be male and female, but the literal Hebrew application is, they shall become male and female. So in this phrase, we understand that it is when we are in the Word, in prayer, and in praise that we become complete. We become kol in our relationship with our Elohim. We combine, in our case, we combine Ish and Isha, we combine the physical attributes of praise with the spiritual attributes that come from it, and we become once again the Adam that walked with Elohim in the garden. So what does the Word help us to do? It helps us to find our way back to where we were prior to the transgression. The blood was paid for that to be made possible. But we have to believe and receive that we can. We believe when we come to a knowledge. We begin to receive when we come to wisdom. But we don't actually receive in completion until we reach understanding. And when we reach understanding, this is what fuses us back together as Ish and Isha. That we can once again walk like Adam walked in the garden. So the overall idea from this verse for us to consider is this. The totality of life that is contained within the flesh feels anxiety in some ways, in some areas, and joy in others. We bring both into the ark. We take those things that concern us into the Word to receive direction, so that we receive back the life that is drained from us, and we bring into the Word those things that bring us joy. We recite psalms of praise. In essence, we share our joy with Elohim. In the word lachayot, we find a word that means to revive from discouragement and restore to life. We receive back the life that has drained us, as well as to live prosperously and to continue to live. We bring into the word those things that bring us joy. The word for male is zakar, from a similar root meaning to remember, to recall, and to call to mind. This is our study of the word, and it is what Elohim does when we take the time to speak with him. The word for female is unekava, from the root nakab, that means to pierce or to penetrate. From the Proto-Hebrew drawing, we see two ideas manifest. One, we penetrate into the house of Elohim in order to receive light and the seed of life, and that the word implants in us. And two, we see that our house is penetrated by the Ruach, implanting in us the seed of life and the light that is also the Word and Mashiach. We become complete, kol, in our relationship with Elohim. We combine as Ish and Isha to again become perfect and complete, the perfect and complete Adam that walked with Elohim in the garden. So that is our look at verse 19. Say, we'll bring the animals into it next week and find out what specifically we're supposed to do with all this knowledge and wisdom that we get. What are we supposed to do with it? We find the answer within the animals. And then after that, the animals, that's right. Not those animals, the other ones. Any questions? Groovy doobie.
Yeah. Never ever cared about that part of thing.